Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's Q&A. What is it like to become a practitioner? What is Access Bars all about? What do I get to do once I'm certified? Do I have to make a business out of this? These are all questions that come to me as a bars facilitator, and people are thinking about choosing a class, are curious about what a practitioner is about. And so I thought I would make a little video, kind of go through a few things, and also show you some opportunities, possibilities with your certification as a bars practitioner. And I'm going to preface this. These are just my observations, my points of views. There are hundreds of thousands of us around the world, bars practitioners. There's well over 500,000 of us around the world, spread across the globe. And we have all created different ways of using access bars in our life, in our business, with our families, with our friends. And at the end of the day, no matter what we're doing, we're creating more for our life. And we're being a space that's different. We're being an energy that's different when we get our bars run. And we're creating more space in our life by deleting all the gunk that's in our brains. And it's one of the many tools that Access Consciousness has to offer. So let's jump on in. I was hoping to have a couple guests on me, but this kind of came up spur of the moment, and but I hopefully I can pull some inspiration from them. And if I get another opportunity to do this with some other people, I will. But I'm just so glad that you're tuning in for this. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. If you have any questions after this little video, you can reach out to me. I will drop all my contact below this video, wherever you're watching it, be it on my Instagram or be it on YouTube or my website or whatever. I'll make sure that there is a way to contact me. And I'm also look up more about Access Consciousness. So first thing first, Access Consciousness is a set of tools, pragmatic tools and processes that help create more and unstick someone from all these different things that we stick ourselves in our life. It's energetic and pragmatic processes that allow you to unravel anything and everything in your life that you're wanting to create change in. And Access Bars is specifically from Access Consciousness. It was something that Gary Douglas, the founder and co-creator of Access Consciousness, he channeled this way back when, about 35 years ago now, I think it was. And it came out of a session he was doing for somebody else. The bars came through him, and then it became a class. And it was about getting it into the hands of the people, sharing this tool with people. And so it is a set of 32 points on the head that somebody, the practitioner, will put their hands on. There's like a couple different like hand placements that essentially get to all 32 points on the head. If someone just holds their hands above your head and says, I'm touching all 32, that's not the bars. Don't give them your money. Go find somebody else. But it's touching the head in these 32 points on the head over a time span. So a regular session, a full session is anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes, give or take. And you can do it as little as 10, like little quickies, little short sessions, 20 minutes. But a session with a practitioner will last you anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. And we'll go through each set of points and we will facilitate the bars process. And what we're doing is helping the body do what it knows already to do and activating this system so that it can run and clear out thoughts, feelings, emotions, considerations, points of views, anything that's sticking you, decharging the electrical charge on those thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that things that we don't need to be on autopilot start to disappear. We're literally like defragging the hard drive and the computer system that is our brains. And if you think of 32 points on the brain as little hard drives, massive hard drives, they are keeping things in the brain from your entire life, everything you're picking up on, past lives, if you subscribe to that process. We are clearing out all the stuff that doesn't need to be there, all the things that are sticking us, all the points of views that are in our subconscious, that are running the show, that are the underlying assumptions that are creating the life that we are living and experiencing. And we actually have the choice to create whatever we desire to create. And having your bars run allows all those underlying assumptions and the things that no longer serve us to be released so that we are even more present in the choices we're making that are creating our life, and even more present in the being aware and being conscious and being we are like in the pilot seat, co-pilot with the universe. We are there, like I said, presence and awareness. And so that's the bars process, and it's extremely relaxing. It allows the brain waves to calm down. There was a great study, a double-blind study by two neuroscientists, and you can see this on my website. I linked to some of the videos and the images. And basically, they showed that a brain scan of the brain before a bar session and after a bar session, we saw, and during the bar session, we saw that the brain was all these blues and reds, which are indicators of the brain being unregulated. And through the process of the bar session, you saw that the brain slowly started to move the colors and it all become green again. It all became a normal functioning brain. The brain waves come down, allowing us to get into that deeply relaxed state. And we all are aware of the effects of a calm body, a calm mind, low cortisol levels, dropping the heart rate, getting the brain to stop firing on all cylinders. We all know the benefits of that. We've heard these around in different places. And bars really delivers this and more, plus some effects. And there's no limit on what bars can do for someone. So for the millions of people who've had their bars run and continue to have their bars run, we have stories from people and testimonies from people who didn't want to kill themselves anymore, which I think is massive. We have people who have been able to reconcile with their family. We've had people that have allowed their bodies to actually do the healing work that it knows how to do. Like the body knows how to do it. And all of a sudden, their aches and pains that they've had for years don't exist anymore. We've had experiences where people literally find the zest and the joy in life again. They run on their kids receive it. They're not suffering from traumas from their childhood anymore. I've had people say that they've had really traumatic events in their life from childhood, and they were very anxious people as an adult. And they had a session with me, and even like tasters, and how impactful even a 20-minute taster was to someone who had a very traumatic experience as a child, very anxious as an adult, starting to see that her children are picking up on her anxious habits and tendencies and emulating them. And she had our bars run for 20 minutes, and she reached out to me. She's like, I feel like I'm a different person. Like I don't go out of my house with the same thoughts as I used to, like literally a day before. My heart rate has been calm all day. My kids are calmer. Like these are things that aren't random in the bars community. These are stories we hear from people all over the world. Kids' grades are better. People are more focused. People are more themselves. They feel like they've got a weight lifted off their shoulders. They feel like, that monkey brain settles down, and when they have their bars run, it puts them in a calm state. They can think clear, they're more creative. They're better, moms or dads, they're better spouses, they're just a better version of themselves. And there's nothing wrong with who you are. And that's one thing I love about Access is it really takes this point of view that there's nothing wrong with you, right? And we can always be the best version of ourselves. We can always, choose to have happiness, but that's another thing we have to choose to receive in our life and choose to be and choose to want. And again, back to receiving it. I want to receive happiness. I want to receive joy. I would like to be joy, like to be happiness. Right. So these are things that all come up for people. And, there's no shortage of testimonials. Sometimes when I get my bars run, clients will book with me. I'll get money dropped into my bank account. It's like, I love when bars makes me money. Like while I'm receiving bars, I'm like, oh, you got a new client. I'm like, yes, please. Like, that's so awesome. So there's no end and limit to what one can experience with bars. I had another lady tell me that, there was conversations that she was needing to have with herself, and she didn't want to talk about them to her therapist. So her therapist recommended bars. So she had a session with me, and she's like, I find it easier to go into those conversations. They're still hard, but I can access and answer the questions that are being asked to help me move through things. And I think that's amazing. The body is ready, the mind is ready to release these things. The being is ready to release these things. The being is wanting you to move forward in your world. And so, again, decharging, getting rid of those thoughts and feelings and emotions around those topics without you having to go into that during a session. I just put my hands on your head and I run your bars. It made her experience moving forward in her therapy sessions to discuss, to work through, because she didn't have that charge on those topics anymore. She didn't have the same thoughts, feelings, and emotions. There was space there. There was actual space for her to step into that space and work through what she needed to work through. So amazing. So what is it like to become a bars practitioner? Tell me about the class, Acacia. Okay, so quickly, the class is one day, so you don't have to book off multiple days. You don't have to go get yourself accommodations if you don't want to do it. If you want to do it locally, there's tons of people locally. If you want to travel and take a bars class, you can do that too. But it's for one day. It's a full day. Some practitioners will split it over to like 2 evenings or 2 afternoons, but typically done in one day, about 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours. And we go through the whole manual with you. We have a video that explains it that you'll see the co-founders, Gary Douglas and Dane here. They'll walk through a video showing you and discussing more about the points. And then you get to practice right then and there on a head. And you get to give someone the bar session twice in a day, and you get to receive a bar session twice in a day. So even if you've never done a bar session before, there's no prerequisites. There's only the willingness to want to choose this and the willingness to bring this into your life and the curiosity that you may have about this. That is we only ask this for you to have the willingness to try, to receive, and see where it goes. So you can have you get your bars run and you get bars twice in a day. And then there's a whole bunch of more tools and questions that we go through in the manual. So it's not just learning the actual physical process of moving your hands in these different points and going through a session. You also get access to some of the most foundational tools in Access Consciousness. One of those tools, and this is everywhere, you can find this one, you can go in depth about it. There's so many people that discuss this tool, but it's the who do you belong to? Who does this belong to tool? And this tool, we go through in the manual. There's a great description of what it means and how to apply it. And it's literally about asking, who does this belong to? Or 99% of our thoughts and feelings don't belong to us. We're picking them up from somewhere. Even body aches, we're picking them up from somewhere. Our body, there may be nothing wrong with our body. And even if there was something, who does it belong to? What are we emulating? What are we picking up on? What is it trying to tell us, right? So we get to go through this. And I love bringing this one in because it's so prevalent to like my world as a stretch therapist and so many examples of how I use this tool on the regular to really shift me out of, buying into the fact that something's wrong with me. And it really shifts through. These tools are meant to really shift you through when applied and consistently applied to really shift you through everything and anything in your life. And so that's the class. And then you become fully certified as a bars practitioner. And what can you do with this? I got this question so many times before my last classes. What can I do with this? Like, one person's like, I don't want to build a business. But I think this is for me. I'm like, yeah, totally. You don't have to build a business from this. I choose to build a business from it. Many people choose to add it into their services that they offer, create a whole bars business out of this, but you don't have to do that. A friend of mine learned bars simply so he could receive bars, simply so he could receive and gift to people. That he could at any moment message someone and be like, I need my bars run, guys. Who's available this week? Or we would hang out a lot. So, instead of just hanging out and talking, we can, 2 for 1, talk and get the bars run, right? Because we like to discuss and catch up about our days, but how much, what else is possible when you get to pair that with running your bars? And allowing the process to run and to be present with somebody and to receive from somebody. My friend comes into town and we'll go to the beach and we'll run each other's bars and catch up with life. It's so dynamic in the applications. So yeah, if you are a person who wants to bring this into your practice, a yoga instructor, breathwork instructor, counselors, doctors, chiropractors, any sort of alternative medicine, even accountants, lawyers, uh, there's I don't think there's not one industry that hasn't been touched by someone with bars, like acting, singing, life coaching. It is applicable in every industry because it's applicable to every human being. And so people, even if they do it as a side thing, or they do it for their friends and family, or they do it for their community, or they do it for their church group, or they do it for their, mom and tots thing, you can apply bars in any way, and you can charge after becoming a certified practitioner. So after the class, you have full capacity to charge whatever you would like for your time and service. Um, there's no rules around what you can charge as a bars practitioner. If you become a bars facilitator and you want to teach this to somebody like I have chosen, I love passing on this tool to people, then there is a set price for a class. And I can't charge more than that and then less than that. That is what it is. There is, half price for repeating practitioners, and there's the price for new practitioners. And there's ways to host class and, give back to the people who are hosting, but that is set. That is set by Access Consciousness. As a practitioner, I choose my rate. I choose how much my time is worth in whatever I do. You can't, though, mix modalities together. So you can't do breath work and bars at the same time. So it's a bar session. And if you want to add it to something, I walk you through a yoga series, and then you lay down and I run your bars. So bars is bars. We don't mix the modalities inside of there. So that is one stipulation. It's a bar session. You are running bars. That's what you're doing. I like to do stretches with clients and bars. So I'll run their bars for a whole hour and then I'll stretch their body. It's very relaxing and rejuvenating and energizing. And it's like they dump all the things out of their brain and then we move it out of the body, with another thing. So many people will also, I have hearing so many people building centers where they're offering access processing. So there's like all these body processes too that aren't just bars. There's all these processing and SOP. And so they're building like a center for, sessions of different practices and body processes. So you can build it as a business and in whatever capacity you like. And then you don't have to do anything with that also. You can just, do it for your own personal gain, for your own personal curiosity, for your own personal development. Getting your bars run every week is fantastic. And when you're trading with people, it is this exchange. So I don't pay for sessions anymore. I call up my friends and I say, hey, I need my bars run. When are you free? Or I haven't seen you in a while. Want to run bars? Or when I'm traveling, who's in the area? Can we meet up and trade? I also have the capacity as a practitioner to host a trade. Hey, I'm hosting at my house. I'm going to supply, the food and the beverages and the space, and then I get to charge something on that. I get to choose if I'd like to do that. I get to say, it's $15 to, come to my bars event, and it's kind of this open invitation thing. So that's really flexible. And that's how I have maintained. That was why I got into it. I was like, I need my bars run like all the time. My body is craving having these bars run. I need to do this way more than once every 3 weeks when shit's hitting the fan. I need to do this more often. And so that's why I got certified. It's like, okay, I can go to as many trades in a week that I can get myself to, or I can find someone in my area and I can trade one on one with them. And we can just continue this tool in our life and let it bring us what it's bringing us. And that's just, there's no price on that for me. That is just, once I've learned it and once someone else has learned it, no one can take that away from you. So you have this gift and you have this capacity, which is great. And then there's this amazing thing, and I'm gonna, touch on this really briefly because if you're looking for more, you can head over to the website. But it's called Bars in Business, and it is this group of facilitators inside the Access Consciousness world that have they Access Consciousness has created kind of a sub thing for bars called Bars in Business, and it's a resource for bars practitioners to bring bars, the process, into businesses as a choice for businesses to choose, an option for businesses to choose for stress and burnout prevention. So this is amazing because I am part of this group. You can go to barsinbusiness.com, and it's just a very simple website, kind of walks you through some statistics and ways to why you might want to choose to bring bars into your business. And then I'm a part of the Telegram group. And this group, every week, there are people saying and sharing their case studies, letting us all know that, the Rotary Club in an Indian town just received bars. And so, like the Rotary Club, these beautiful human beings are receiving bars once a week. Or there was in Mexico, in a city, there was a few bars practitioners that got together and approached the first responders um, association and asked if they could run a study, bring bars in for 6 weeks for 20-minute sessions. And they had, I think it was like 60 some odd participants coming in weekly for their 20 minutes worth of bars. And these first responders came in apprehensive, wasn't quite sure about this. And then most of them ended up fulfilling the full 6 weeks and really seeing a difference in their mood, in how they were feeling after work, what they were able to let go of, like not bringing the job home with them or as much as the job home with them, having a calmer sense of them being on the job, just not feeling as run down as they used to. So all these like massive benefits to job presence and productivity and morale. So, and there's a bunch of accounting groups that have been bringing bars in. So practitioners would approach a law firm or an accounting firm and say, hey, you have stressed out. Do you have stressed out employees? We'd like to offer this as a service to your employees. We'd like to come in, do their bars every week, or give them the capacity to come see us on behalf of your company. It is a option for these businesses to be choosing to really help facilitate their employees. And getting your bars run for as little as 15 minutes every week um, can create an impact in that employee's mood, creativity, production, effectiveness. The team morale goes up. People are more enjoyable to be around. They are, less reactive that day or that week because they've cleared out those thoughts, feelings, and emotions that they have for the job and other life things. So there's this whole resource called Bars in Business, and it's all geared to what is possible and what can be created if every business could choose bars to be in their business. And it makes me really excited as a person who has this vision of running multiple businesses and having a team, multiple teams. And I already know as a foundation of whatever I create bars is going to be a foundational tool because I see what it does for my life. I see what it does for my friends' lives. I see what it does for my clients. And I'm like, if that was part of my foundation of my business, um, for my employees, for my contractors, for whoever was working for me to be like, you get your bars run every week, whether it's by me or somebody else, like we're making sure that that's being facilitated for you as being working and working for me or in within any capacity. So that makes me really excited. And it's just like I said on my phone, there's no shortage every week of people sharing what business that they went into, who they have on their roster for their services. So what can you do as a practitioner? You can build a business, you can put it in businesses, or you can do it to just continually expand your life and the people around you. And even if you have a business, you're putting it in businesses, we do encourage you to keep running your bars, getting your bars run, going to classes and having your bars run, hosting or attending bars, gifting and receiving events and getting your bars run, or connecting with the people around you and gifting and trading to each other because of the impact and the change it can create in your world. And last thing is I want to bring the little kiddos and the teenagers into this is because I don't think I haven't found a modality yet that offers the teachings of bars for free. If your child is 15 or under, they can attend a class for free with you, the paying parent, or if they're attending with somebody that is paying. I think that is amazing. And yes, kids can learn bars. And yes, kids run bars. And yes, even some kids, instead of babysitting and getting babysitting money, they run the neighborhood bars and they charge. So, do you want your kid babysitting or do you want to, your kid does your kid want to create more change in the world, right? There's endless possibilities for them too. And kids receive bars, they run a bit faster. If you're 15 or under, the kid can attend for free with you as a parent. And if they're 16, 17, it's half price for them. And if they're 18, they can pay themselves, right? They're adults. So I just wanted to touch on that last little bit because, people are like, oh, I want to take this class, but I have to find a babysitter. Well, ask your kid, would they like to choose this? Would they like to attend it? If not, don't push it on them. Go find yourself a babysitter, come to class for yourself. But if they're like, yeah, that looks cool, or that would be really nice, mommy, I'd love to, learn it with you, or dad, I would love to run this on you too, right? Ask, would you be interested? And see what comes about that. Some kids have gotten into it and then their parents get into it. So I really like that. Like sometimes it's the kids that are calling for this in their life and then the parents follow suit. So I think I've gotten through everything. I think I've shared the examples, the inspirations. I think I've answered all the questions I can continuously get. And if you do have more questions or you want to reach out and have a conversation, first of all, check out my website. I've created an Access Bars page that really breaks down things, links to case studies and links to testimonials from people around the world and links to videos that Access Consciousness has created and released, so like easy access to things. There's so much on the internet. You can basically YouTube and start there. You can visit the Access Consciousness website and find out more directly from them. And then you can reach out to me if you've got more specific questions that are still lingering in your world, or you'd like to take a class. And if you'd like to take a class, you can search the Access website, accessconsciousness.com, and you can search for a facilitator in your area or search for classes and travel the world and take classes. If you'd like to know my schedule, I am on the Access Consciousness website. If you type in my name, you'll see what's coming up, or you can check out my website, acaciadabat.com/schedule. That's where I put my Access classes. And if you're curious about anything else that I do, again, my website is a place that I can consistently update with what's happening, where I am in the world, what I'm facilitating one-on-one and class-wise. And yeah, if you're watching this, I'd love to know where you're watching this from. Feel free to share this with someone that you think might be interested in. And hopefully I'll see you in a class, be it a bars class or something else. All right, everybody, take care. See you. Bye-bye.